What if I told you that in the next 12 months, you would be able to leave your job, you'd be able to travel the world, you'd be able to pay your bills, your rent, your groceries, you'd be able to go shopping, you'd be able to buy the clothes that you want to buy without worrying about whether or not you're stretching your budget, whether or not you're able to afford anything else until the end of the month. In fact, the concept of getting paid every single month isn't even something that is part of your lifestyle or the way that you live. And what if I told you that you could do all of that if you started today, even if you don't have any experience in business or running a business at all? So before we get into the video, if you're new to this channel, my name is Ehsan Khan. I've built multiple six-figure businesses, and on this channel, I try to connect with people like yourself who are trying to elevate themselves out of the rat race, who have the potential to do more, but maybe you weren't taught exactly what to do in order to get the bag that you're looking for. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I did, how I did it, and exactly how you can do it the same. So make sure that you click that subscribe button right now. Don't be stingy. The more subscribers I get, the more I'm able to post. So if you like this content, you know what to do. So I'm going to start this story off by saying that I never had any formal business training. I was always entrepreneurial. I was always that kid who was selling sweets in the playground. I used to sell laser pens, I used to sell CDs, I used to sell SIM cards, I used to sell everything. And that was all before the age of 15, everything that I've just told you. I mean, and there was more stuff as well. And so I've always been that hustler, had that hustler's mindset and understood the importance and value of having money and making money. And so when I went to university, I thought that that was the right thing to do. I thought that going to university and being a businessman wearing a suit was the goal. I thought that making 70, 80K per year was the thing that you do, and then you save, and then maybe you invest in property, and then maybe you buy a restaurant, and then that was the goal basically, right? And I thought that that was entrepreneurship. And so I went through university, I finished it, I got my degree, and then of course started applying for jobs. And I applied for probably close to about 300 or 400 jobs, and only heard back from one company. Now this company happened to be one of the most prestigious organizations within their industry, and I joined that company, and that company was within the recruitment industry. So it's important to know that actually I didn't have any experience in recruitment. They hired me because I was hungry, because I was passionate, because I was driven, I was motivated, and that was really what they needed. And they said to me on the interview that all we need is someone who's driven, because you can't teach that, but you can teach recruitment. So with that, they then got me on the phones, they got me writing emails, and within 5 weeks, I was able to do my first placement. And that first placement was around £5,500. And I remember as soon as I did that, I just thought to myself, this is the easiest thing in the world, and I can't believe how much money I've just made. Like, I've just made £5,500 from a couple of weeks worth of work, because it wasn't the entire 5 weeks worth of work that went into doing that deal. It was probably about 2 weeks worth of work, picking the client up, finding the CVs, getting the CVs across, managing the interview process, and then closing the deal, right? So it was probably a 2-week process. And then to make things even better, the following week, I did another deal with the same company for the same role with one of the candidates who went in for the interviews the previous week at the same time as the other person who got offered. And that happened because I spoke to the client a few days after we did the placement, and he said, yeah, find me more candidates. And I said, well, what about the guys that you've just seen? Is there anybody else? And he said, well, actually, that other guy was really good. Can you get him in? And so I did another deal for the same value. So I did around £11,000 within 6 weeks of me starting in this new job that I had no clue what it was when we started. And so the main thing was that I had a mentor who was telling me what to do. I was blindly following what he was telling me to do. And then by doing that, I understood what I was doing, and I was able to actually make the placement. So that's the important steps that you need to understand when it comes to making money in any business or doing anything. You need to have someone who can show you the way. You follow the way, so you're coachable, and then you implement that, and then you learn along the way as you're developing, as you're taking that action. And so I did that for many, many years. I was one of the top consultants, and after around 4 years, I left that company and I decided to start my own. And the reason why I decided to start my own was because the benefits of being a business owner are far, far superior than being an employee. And after the 4 years, I realized that there was nothing that I needed from the company that I was working in at all. I had built so many businesses within that business for them, and the only thing I was really getting was a salary at the end of it, and that was the thing to hold me there. So that wasn't enough. I wanted more money. And so that's why I started my own business. And within 2 weeks of starting the business, I did my first placement, which was over £21,500. And that really got the ball rolling. And after that, I started traveling the world. I was doing more placements consistently. I was able to set up a stable of clients that were coming back to me on a repeated basis. And I just focused on doing the basics and building my reputation up within my particular industry and my particular niche. And in doing so, I've been able to work significantly less than if I was working in a job, and I was able to earn significantly more than if I was working in a job. So if I had the options in front of you of, do you want to work more and earn less, or do you want to work less and earn more, which would you choose? And so if you would choose this side, that you want to work less and earn more, then the route for you is entrepreneurship. But you have to know what you're doing in order to make money. Every business is built by real people with money that they've earned, or leaders in business who have budgetary constraints, or they manage a budget and they're responsible and accountable for those budgets. So business isn't a joke. It's something that you have to take seriously, and you have to be a serious person, and you have to know how to do things properly in order for you to succeed. So if you don't know how to do all of those things, if you don't have a process that you're implementing right now on a consistent basis in order for you to start making money, then I've put together a free masterclass video for people just like yourself, showing you the 7-step process of exactly how you could start and scale a recruitment agency in the next 12 months to 6 figures, where you'll be able to travel the world, where you'll be able to work from anywhere in the world and make more money than the salaries of most CEOs.